They gave us this equation that's already on our notes, 2x plus 3y equals 60. Okay. Well, sometimes we're going to have to set up our own equations, but this time they were nice and they gave us the equation, the linear function that represents the situation. But I'm going to guess in your reading you found out what x represents and what y represents. What does x represent in this problem?
58.
What does x represent in this problem, Ariel? The pens, the number of pens that you would buy. So let's go down here to our coordinate plane and let's write below that, let's give it its title. Let's call that the pens. Okay? And I'm going to pick the scale for us to use for this one. We're going to go by, I have it somewhere here. I've already worked it out, but I got to remember what I went by on this one. Okay, where did it go? Okay, let's go by twos on both axes, in fact. So instead of having to number every single grid line, though, let's start with 2. And then we know the next grid line would be 4. But instead of writing 4, because we'll have so many numbers and it'll be so busy, let's just say, okay, 2, say 4, skip over it, and then go to the next one and say 6. And the next one would be 8, but we're not going to write it. We'll go to the next grid line and do 10. So every other one we're going to number, but we're still really going by twos. So get that numbered across. And the last number you really will do, you'll still have one more grid line at the edge. It would be 40, but we're going to have a 38. Do the same thing with the y-axis, okay? So we're going to go by twos on the y-axis also. But instead of having to number every one of them, we say the next one, don't write it, and move on. So 2, 4, we don't write 4, we write 6, 8, 10. Then it doesn't get quite so busy. But this is the number line. You can't have inconsistency on the number line. They're really like number lines. Okay, what is the y-axis representing? That might be the next thing we want to talk about, Stefan. Notebooks, okay, so on the y-axis we're going to give the y-axis the title of all these numbers actually represent the number of notebooks, so we write notebooks as our title on the y-axis. So it's important that we first set up a good graph.
Yes.
Dakota? You can try the cherry and we'll see how it goes. We'll do it for one time and figure out. Okay, so we know that x is the number of pens. We know that y is the number of notebooks in this situation. And in A, what they want us to do is they want to graph the function and find its intercepts. Well, we're going to find its intercepts first to help us graph it. We're going to turn that around. We're going to say find its intercepts and graph the function. So let's go back up to where I have the equation written and let's find those intercepts. Okay? So let's start with the x-intercept. When we're looking for the x-intercept, we do what again? Put 0 in for y. So 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 60. Well, 3 times 0 is 0. 0 added to 2x is still just 2x. And now what do?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. So now we'll divide both sides by 2, and we'll have our x-intercept, which is 30. What? What are they? Tens. Let's just put that right away so that we can, when we're doing the last thing they want us to do, part B, we have that kind of to help us out. So let's go to our graph and put a point at 30 on the x-axis. Okay. Now go up and find the y-intercept next. Well, I'm passing out the rulers to you. Find the y-intercept. I get 20 notebooks, how about you? Look at that point on your graph. What do you think? Do you think this is kind of like that example one was where we talked about that instead of it being a line with arrows at both ends, it was just a line segment? Do you think this one would be like that also then? Why? Right, what's the reason? Okay, well, that's a good reason, but we have, lots of times we have just two specific points when we have that extra line. Why don't we want to extend it to show that that line goes on forever and ever, right?
Because you can't.
Oh, right?
Because you want a certain amount of money to spend.
Well, he does only have a certain amount of money to spend, I'll agree with that. Ariel?
Because you can have a negative number of numbers.
Yeah, if we would extend it going, beyond we would extend it going beyond this one, we would be saying there's a negative number of pens. If we would extend it going beyond this one, we would say there's a negative number of notebooks. There isn't such a thing. So we're going to just go and make a line segment. We're going to connect our intercepts with a line segment instead of a line with arrows at both ends. And that's how our graph should look. So we found the intercepts, we've graphed it. We've done part A, now we need to do part B. What does part B want us to do? Explain what each intercept represents. So let's come down here where I have some space for us to do that. And let's explain, first of all, what does the x-intercept represent? So the x-intercept of 30 pens, isn't that what it is, right? The x-intercept of 30 pens. You're going to have to do this in your homework and you're going to write in sentences like this. The x-intercept of 30 pens represents what is it telling us? What is that? So remember down here when x is equal to 30, y is equal to, what's y equal to at that point? No, at this point right here. What's y equal to? 0. So that means there's 0 what? Notebooks. So the x-intercept of 30 pens represents when you do not buy any notebooks. You spend all the money on pens. And we do not buy any notebooks. 0 notebooks, 30 pens. Well, then what would the y-intercept of 20 notebooks be representing? Right?
Represents when you buy no pens.
Yeah, so okay, so let's write that. We have to do our y-intercept now. The y-intercept of 20 notebooks represents when you do not buy any pens. spend all your money on notebooks. So we're specifically saying, what does that 30 tell us, what does that 20 tell us? We're writing in the sentence form, we're not just being random and saying the x-intercept is what you get when y equals 0. That isn't what it's asking for, what's the definition of an x-intercept? It's asking what does the x-intercept represent in this situation? What does the y-intercept represent in this situation? Anybody have questions or concerns about the new add-on thing that you're going to have to be able to do today along with what you've already learned?